today I'm going to be talking about how much crust you need to become a millionaire in the next bull run. Now, I could do this in extreme long-term form in terms of, talking about 5 to 10 years, but the wider you go out, the longer term you do your predictions, the more outlandish they become and the more difficult they become to predict. So I'm going to be talking about a 1 to 2 year period, i.e., 2024 to 2025 taking profits the next bull run. So let's get straight into it. But before I get into it, guys, I need to let everyone know these are the times in which my Patreons are thriving. We are buying into these projects very, very low. The altcoins are down a lot right now. There's a lot of low cap gems which are very, very cheap to be buying. And these are the times in which my Patreons are buying in big, getting up their bags, and then we reap the rewards when the market turns bullish again. These are some of the gains that my Patreons were making in the last couple of months alone due to the fact that they were buying in November and December when I was dropping out my buy alerts on my Patreon. Viot, they got a 55x. DMTR, they got around a 50x. And there's many, many more, as you can see on the screen. Take advantage of these dips. Join my Patreon, and you will gain access to the latest and the greatest low cap gems. The link is in the description. I'll talk a little bit more about it towards the end of the video. So we're going to be talking about Crust Network in this video. So it's got a market cap of 20 million. Coin market cap says something different, but I can assure you guys, CoinGecko, I think, is the correct one. We've got a circulating supply of 22 out of 27, which is pretty good. And it's in the decentralized storage sector. I'm not going to go too much into what they're doing specifically. I've made a plethora of different videos on this project delineating what it does in terms of its utility. But in this video, I'm more going to be talking about the price and the price estimations and price predictions that I see, and obviously how much you're going to need in order to hit that $1 million mark. So it's decentralized storage for the Web3, revolution. Think about all the different things you store your data. You essentially need to store your data. So you've got photos, documents, all these different things, videos, everything. Crust Network is essentially going to meet those needs. Now, I'm not going to get into too much about it, but what you can see is it's very, very cheap in terms of how much it costs to actually store your data. It's linked to the Polkadot ecosystems with the parachains, and there's much more, obviously, than that. But it's a low cap gem, and it's competing with the likes of Filecoin and Arweave, which are already really, really big in terms of market cap. So that just gives a little, goal in terms of where Crust can get in the long term. So if we look at Filecoin, how high did Filecoin go in the last bull run in market cap? It went all the way up to $12.5 billion in market cap. So it was huge, right? If we look at Arweave, where did that go in the last bull run? It went all the way up to $4 billion in market cap. So that also was huge. Now, I'm not saying that Crust is going to go to those levels this bull run, but what I am saying is that it's going to put in a relatively good fight, and I think it could get very, very high. Now, as always, when I make these price predictions, I do a conservative price prediction, and then I do an ambitious price prediction. My strategy is to start DCAing out once we hit the conservative price prediction ever so gradually. And then as the bull market continues, you start increasing the heaviness. You start increasing the load when it comes to DCAing out. And hopefully we get to this ambitious target, but it's not guaranteed. At least you were taking profits on the way up rather than being that person who was holding all the way up and then missed the top and then it dumped. Okay. So this is how I'm going to do it. Now, most likely it's going to meet somewhere in between, right? Conservative is for the boring people, complete conservatives. And then ambitious is obviously for the degens. It's probably going to top out somewhere in the middle. So obviously, if you start taking profits gradually at the conservative price, and I mean very gradually, 5% out or 10% out, that, in my opinion, will set you for a really, really good profit-taking strategy. Now, of course, it's not financial advice. You need to come up with your own profit-taking strategy, but this is essentially what I'm going to be doing. On my Patreons, get a lot more information about my profit-taking. I do weekly VIP webinars with them, and I go in depth when I talk about taking profits. So let's start off with the conservative and how much you're actually going to need in order to become a millionaire. So let me make a extra bit and put how much needed, right? So let's start off with the conservative. So I'm going to estimate conservatively that Crust is going to do 20x from where it is right now, right? I think that's very realistic. That should say million, not millimeters, right? We're talking money here, not size. So if we look at Crust, it's $20 million in market cap. Where did it go in the last bull run? In the last bull run, it went all the way up to around $250 million in market cap. So even if it just does a 20x, it's going to exceed its all-time high market cap. Okay, now there is a disparity between the price and market cap, but let's just talk about market cap here. If it does a 20x from the current level, you're going to go to a market cap of around 400 million, which would be just less than a 2x from its all-time high. I think that is extremely doable, almost guaranteed in my opinion. I mean, no one knew about Crust in the last bull run, and it was doing crazy, crazy gains, right? Now you've got BitBoy talking about it. I saw he made a video about 2 months ago. Obviously, the gem hunters, we were well onto this way before BitBoy, but it's good to see, bigger YouTubers start talking about this great project. So now you're starting to get a bit of awareness from the big boys, and this is what obviously propels even better marketing and even more people deciding to invest in this project. So I think it's almost guaranteed that we're going to see it do a 2x from its all-time high market cap. I think it's very realistic. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed in crypto, but if there was something to be guaranteed, I think it would be this. So this is the conservative estimate, 20x. So 400 million market cap, and that would put it around an $18.2 price. Now, what we need to do is we need to do 1 million divided by 20, and that will be $50,000 you would need to invest into Crust in order to get $1 million if you were to take the conservative approach. Now, I don't think it's going to top out at this, so I need to reiterate this. I think we're going to do a lot more than this. But if you want to be super conservative, you want to be super on the safe side, 50K will make you a millionaire. Obviously not guaranteed. Now let's get into the ambitious thing. And I know there's a huge disparity between the conservative and the ambitious price prediction. I know that. And the reason for this is we're dealing with a very kind of hard project to predict in Crust Network. It's very, very difficult to try and project and forecast the gains that this project's going to promulgate. It's very difficult. So that's why there's such big extremes here. It's so hard to predict. With Gala, for example, it's relatively easy to predict. It's probably going to do a 20 to a 50x. Very, very easy to predict, right? Not much of a big margin. Whereas with Crust, it's so hard to predict that there's massive extremes in terms of the scope in which we're looking at here. So let's talk about the ambitious price prediction. 200x your money. That would put it at a market cap of $4 billion and a price of $182. Okay. Obviously, we're bearing in mind that there's no differences in terms of tokenomics, right? No burns or no increases. There probably will be. So obviously add some kind of margin of error for these predictions. So 200x, $4 billion market cap, and a $182 price. Now, how much is needed to become a millionaire in terms of dollars, right? We're not talking about tokens, we're talking about dollars here. You can obviously do the calculation. So we want to do 1 million divided by 200. And as you can see, the answer is just $5,000. So you could get very, very lucky. Let's say you've only got 5 grand. You throw it into Crust. You become an absolute degen. You throw it into Crust and it does a 200x. You would become a millionaire. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that. If you've only got 5 grand, I would say balance your risk. Don't go all into one project. Go into many projects. But if you wanted to do it, I do believe it's possible. Now, of course, it's not likely. We're talking ambitious price predictions here for a reason. But it's certainly possible. It's not going to shock me if it goes there. $4 billion in market cap would still put it around the same level as what Arweave got in the last bull run. And you would assume that this bull run, Arweave's going to do a lot more than it did in the last one. So let's say Arweave goes to 10 billion this bull run. It would still be more than half the size of Arweave. Let's say Filecoin goes to 30 billion this bull run. It's going to be tiny, minuscule when you compare it to Filecoin. So I don't think these predictions are asinine. I just think they are obviously ambitious, and I wouldn't wait for the 200x. I, as I said, would be taking profits way before that, DCAing out just as you DCA in when prices are high, all the way down to prices being low. Thank you guys all for watching this video. That's it for this video. Let me know, which tokens do you want me to do this video for? Do you want me to talk about how much Arweave do you need to become a millionaire? How much Singularity Net? Let me know which projects you want me to do the same kind of topic of video on, and I'll be sure to do the ones that gain the most traction and the most likes. Also, subscribe if you guys haven't already. I upload every single day on this channel, keeping you guys updated with the latest and the greatest low cap gems. Also, leave a like. It really helps so much with the channel. People don't understand this, but when you guys like, it helps out so much with the growth of the channel. Also, check out that Patreon page. It is linked in the description. I highly recommend it for everyone, whether you're a complete beginner or whether you're an intermediate or even an advanced crypto investor. This group could help out a lot. If you're more on the advanced level, it's great for networking. There's many millionaires in this group. There's people who own projects. There's people who own, kind of technical analysis companies. There's loads of different people in this group, loads of YouTubers, loads of content creators, and loads of great people and millionaires. But there's also complete beginners. So you can get a really good community, a really good group of friends. And, we all take it serious. We're not joking around. We're not shilling, terrible meme coins. We're talking about utility in this group, right? Pure utility, pure good projects. So hit that link in the description. Check it out. There's something for everyone. Whether you want to go for the lower end of the spectrum in terms of going for the premium or the elite tier, that's absolutely fine. Maybe work your way up. But if you're super serious, go for that VIP plus tier, and you'll gain access to that Telegram group, which everyone's talking about. Or if you're even more serious, go for the boss tier, and you can book a one-to-one call with myself, and we can go over any of your crypto needs, go through your portfolio, go through profit taking, whatever you want, we can do it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.